Waiting traveler.
I have no time for games.
The end is coming! Who am I?
Let me change your mind.
You require my assistance? Adios! We're gonna be rich.
I have no time for games.
Inferno! You require my assistance? Who am I?
Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Tavern Talk, an exciting episode. We've got two awesome guests this time. Alongside me, as always, is going to be Always Just in Time. How is it going, my friend?
Today's a very special day. I am always just in time today.
Yes. Yes, you are indeed. And alongside us, we have our first guest, board member, and captain of many different teams. We've got TwoStarMako. What's going on, man?
I captain one team.
Captain one team.
Captain
Well,
one team.
You do captain only one team. That is right.
That is correct.
Yeah.
I'm just here to fix your stupid clerical errors.
There we go, yeah. I forgot you captain one team, but you play for
Yes.
captain one, play one.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know how I ended up here. I just ended up here. So
Yeah, he ended up
see
here.
what happens.
JR is busy and fortunately couldn't make it, so Mako's here filling in, and we've got Diamond here, who is a captain of a couple of teams.
Yeah,
Himself
only two.
to end both teams looking both teams looking playoff bound so far.
Yeah,
What's going on?
going well. I'm pretty sure 2 are confirmed playoffs, 1 to go, but probably in. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
There's like 3 weeks left at pro, so
for sure. Yeah.
And top of the standings, just knocked off Hyper Horizon.
Yeah.
Seems like you guys got it.
let's go.
Yeah. All right. So first thing on the docket, we're gonna go and look at some playoff legacy brackets as we have entered the round of 8. We now have brackets for myself, Always Just in Time, and Diamond. They're up on the screen now, and of course, Mako, if you want to chime in and give some like round predictions, you can. course. I'll let Justin and Diamond go through their stuff first. Then I'll talk about mine.
Sure, I'll go first with mine. Not biased at all. I chose my team to win the entire thing. So I think Dad Legends can be a hard opponent and we get through. And Meme Dream Team kinda had their conference pretty well locked as well. So I think they make it and then we beat them to go in the finals. And then on the other side, I think Flame Pimps is a really good new team. And I think F2L just is for some reason playoffs they just activate. So I think they'll make it all the way to the finals. But since we beat them in the regular season, I have to say I'm a bit biased that we're gonna beat them based off previous results and bias.
Nice.
Yeah, so as a counterpoint to Diamond, I also picked my team to win it all. And unfortunately, we're on the same team, so we basically said the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only one difference in our
I think Feesh is drunk if he thinks Dad Legend's gonna make it past round 1 here.
I am drunk.
wow.
Because
There is no way that Dad Legend's gonna get past Foolish Madmen.
I
talked about this. We talked about this last night. I mean, outside of Diamonds, the lowest record player on that team is Dardar frickin' Binks.
yeah,
And you're telling me that Dad Legend is going to get past this team?
barely, but they can do it. They're
No, no.
they're literally the I think Dad Legend is the only team in playoffs that can beat Foolish Madmen. And if
I
they,
will
and if
continue
and,
hating. I will
and if
hate all day.
and if
It's
Fool-
not a hate on Dad
and
Legend
if
clarity. It's the opponent that you're up against. Like
I
this team is just insane.
I think if Foolish Madmen wins this week, they win the entire thing. But my prediction, it's the bold prediction, is that Dad Legend wins and will end up repeating as champs. I think so. We'll go right into I guess since we've already done that. I do have Dad Legend winning on that side, and I have ATL over Meme Dream Team. I think the way the matchups play out, ATL's bottom like 2 seeds will yeah, I think that the bottom 2 seeds for ATL will win, and then it's up to like Nails, Matty Ebbs, and Tisu for one of them to take wins over opponents in Meme Dream Team.
Just quickly, is
Yeah.
Yellow Dart in the chat? Because I think Mako just provided him with another quote.
Yeah,
much as he loved reviling in all the talking heads who predicted Dad Legend's demise before even playoff began. But
yeah,
whatever.
So
We'll just have to do what they
over
can do.
F2L?
yeah. I like Team Trees. I like Team Trees matchup with F2L.
Okay.
I again, I think it comes down to 4-5s in the 3 matchup. I think that Team Trees that their matchups, at least to me, look slightly better. I know I think that where if F2L does win, there'll have to come something out of the upper 3 players where I think 2 of them have to win between Myanodon, Marty B, and Robobson.
I think your logic is more sound there in the Team Trees versus F2L matchup than it is the Dad Legend versus Foolish Madmen matchup.
Yeah.
Because one of these matchups has logic behind it. I think Trees, you're right. Like I think that's going to be your closest matchup of the week.
Yeah, I think so as well. And then I see that all of us picked Flame Pimps over Dirty Mike and the boys. That matchup is we'll talk about it obviously shortly. We're gonna run through each match briefly after this. But yeah, Flame Pimps and DMB are currently tied for the week at 5-5. So we have only 3 matches left. Yeah, I mean, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Dirty Mike and the boys wins, but I think that the players left remaining for Flame Pimps will get it done.
Purely because Flame Pimps have a cooler logo is also a reason I'm voting for them.
Yeah,
It's a flame imp with a gun. Of course I'm gonna choose that one.
for sure. Yeah, it's a great logo.
Yeah. Anyways,
Right.
want to get on to the first match here?
Yeah, I can go ahead and pull that up.
Yeah, so I believe it is that one exactly.
Yes, it
Or
is.
Dirty Mike and the Boys versus the Pimps. So as previously mentioned, that one already has 2 matches in the book, and scores are all tied at 5. Big thing that jumps out to me here is as we are a prediction show, normally we do not get the opportunity to be able to have classes in before we predict, which makes predicting rather difficult. But in Taco Cat versus Tony Montana, that is not the case. We do have classes in. And Taco Cat has brought Druid, Mage, Rogue, Warlock, leaving out the 2 most banned classes in Legacy over the past few weeks, Paladin and Warrior. Not the move I would have expected, but then again, the meta has been shifting a little bit, I guess, with the emergence of like spell damage mage and such. So maybe old meta, and he's certainly been whatever he's been doing has been working for him. At 5-2, no from Tespa as well that he's a very good player. But I just did a double take when I saw those classes.
Yeah, I did too. Like this class matchup there made me question my pick for the week, because if Dirty Mike and the Boys wins one more, it's still gonna be tough with Valera and Boolean left to win. And Tony Montana is, even though he's like 447, he's taken down like tons of really good players in his career. So I mean, he could win here.
Yeah. Overall, I picked the Pimps because I would side with them with the strength, especially, and I know the players of Taco Cat and or Valera. But if Taco Cat loses, then gives some questionable class brings. I agree with you, Feesh.
Yeah,
Have to go the other way. Well,
I think they're that questionable when you think about it, really.
That's true. I mean, the meta's pretty balanced right now.
If he's going Galakron Warlock, right?
No, Galakron isn't bad at all.
He's got a pretty good favorable into the Paladin Priest, and depending on the Warrior, some of these Warrior matchups, and as long as he's not going Highlander Mage, which would have a favorable into that Warrior, and maybe the Priest, depending on what Priest Tony's bringing. I mean, if he's going like the spell damage, whatever the hell you want to call it, mage. I don't know the archetypes, small spell mage. I mean, I feel like if I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken. I don't have the stats pulled up in front of me, but I've seen that do very well into the paladin matchups, and even honestly the priest and matchups. And I don't know how it does in the druid, to be honest. And it can get there versus warrior. So I don't think Taco Cat's gonna bring that unless he or she's comfortable on it. So I mean, they may look questionable at first glance, but if someone's bringing it in playoffs first round, then there's gotta be some comfort level to it, and honestly a lot of thought put into it. So I think if you're looking at this and you're questioning its validity, you should be looking at it and going, maybe they're onto something and they've put in a lot of prep for this.
I definitely like the your point about Galakron Warlock. That deck would make a lot of sense into this type of lineup for sure. And yeah,
the percentage against like Paladin for any of the Ticketus decks is just insane.
Through the roof. Same with the Priest. Priest is like what, almost an 80, like almost like somewhere between 75 and 80% for Warlock. That's the case, depending on the Priest. How I've seen stats in the past. Anyways. I mean the Burn Mage, Secret Mage, both of those decks have kinda been playing out pretty well on ladder. I haven't gotten a chance to play with them much. And I mean Druid's pretty flexible. There seems to be a bunch of different tokens as well as Highlander Druid exist. So be a good match. Yeah, I mean looking at the classes, I can see an argument either way for the players. I think Taco Cat might have the advantage looking at how the classes match up though.
Yeah, Milo's saying in the chat, easy counter priest lineup, and yeah, mage is quite good against priest right now. So is Ticklock. Rogue and druid not quite as hard countery as the other two.
Yeah, I think rogue is the big questionable here, not mage or warlock.
Meta is so like balanced right now in terms of classes. Like other than shaman and hunter, and all other 8 classes see lots of competitive play, and even then shaman and hunter, it's just kind of that they're the same, that they're boring. No one wants to play Highlander Hunter for the 10th meta in a row. It's not that they're necessarily not all that powerful. So you can definitely win with pretty much anything right now, it feels like, compared to normal. That being said, I certainly like when my opponent has to ban a respect mana class.
Yeah.
Anyways,
All right.
anyone have any further thoughts? We want to move on to the next match.
Let's move on.
All right. Next one on the docket, we've got Team Trees versus F2L Red. This matchup, like Mako said, I think is going to be the closest matchup. It could definitely go either way. Well, we have people who have picked for both sides in our brackets. So we have Karatidom versus Myanodon. We have Black Swan versus Marty B. Trito versus Rabobson. Vampire Nighthawk versus Rotted Zombie. And Two Fly versus Slad. Really interesting seeing, because Trito, I believe, has been playing the 4 for most of the season. He went 7-0 in the 4 seed. Now is moving up in the 3 seed, and it might be a bit of a jump. I mean, I feel like if you've won this many times so far, like I would definitely think Trito's up for the challenge of going up against a player as really strong and kind of storied as Rabobson has been in THL. So that's going to be a really interesting matchup, and I think he can definitely. I think that this could almost come down to his match in total.
This may be similar. This team, anyways, like with the record, seems very similar to your team, Fish, with AFG, where you have Tridu and Two Fly doing really well, and everyone else is kind of slacking. So I think those two have a good chance of winning, but I think the rest of the team,
I mean, Trito
especially
has
when you have
been.
Marty B.
Is that Justin? Oh, I think we might have lost him.
All right. Well, I'll continue.
Sure.
So I think those, just don't worry. Justin's still there. He's on time. I think Tridu and Two Fly will win, but I think along with Marty B and the prep he puts in
Ooh.
for F2L. Oh, Justin, you're back?
Ah, Justin actually just no longer in the call. Oh.
Okay. So yeah, I think Marty B, with his prep work that he's put in, and I've talked to him what he does, I think he'll win, and then he'll help Myanodon and Rotted, because I don't know if you've hit their lineups aren't done, so I bet they are planning. I guess Marty's is done, but Bob's and Rotted and Mayan, they're probably playing their lineups. But I think for Team Trees, I think Tridu and Two Fly will win, but I don't think the others will win.
Gotcha. I think
Yeah, definitely annoying. There's 4 lineups. 4 out of the 10 players have submitted lineups, but there's no 2 pairs of opponents. You can't see anything.
No. I think
As you were saying.
I think of all the players on F2L that you mentioned that because Diamond just said that he thinks Trito and Two Fly are gonna win. I think Vampire Nighthawk probably has the best chance of winning his week over the Rotted Zombie. I mean, they're both extremely strong players. But Vampire has been playing mostly in the 3 this season, and I mean there's definitely, when you jump up seeds, there's definitely like definitely some bit of a jump up in skill level that you'll see. It might not be, it's obviously not as big as it might have been in the past. Jim Philos, thanks for the Tier 1 sub, 22 months. That is fantastic. Thank you so much for your support.
And yeah, to your point, Fish, they do say the 3 seed is the toughest seed. I see in the chat Molstar, who has been having quite a tough time in the 3 seed in Hero, but is 2-0 in the 1 in Legacy. Really shows you the
Really
difference in
does.
the strength of the 3 seed.
Yeah. But I mean, Karatidom versus Myanodon is going to be an interesting matchup. I think both players, I mean, they're both about even records, with Myanodon having an extra week played, where they're were 4-3 at the end of the season, both of them. And got Karatidom at 4-3 as well.
Yeah, I mean, Molstar adding in the chat, he's also doing quite well in Pro, but the 3 seed he just can't crack. So we'll see if Trito's able to do what Molstar couldn't.
The #1 Legacy PP or player power rankings player so we'll see how he does.
Yeah. Right. Whew. Mako, what are your thoughts on this match? At glance.
I mean, I already went over it a little bit.
Oh, you did.
I don't have much to elaborate further. I just think it's gonna be a close matchup.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a ton of information to go off of here, so.
Oh. As for the rest, same with the rest of the matchups in Legacy, it seems. We'll move on to the next one. We'll let Diamond talk. We'll let Diamond and Justin go through this match. This is their playoff match right here.
Alrighty. Wow, look at my team already submitting. Good job, guys. Alright, so if I'm looking at this, Darter Binks, Year of Darter Binks, easy W. Always just in time, more like always winning time. He's gonna make your mom kid lose his undefeated streak. Automated button, he knows he's just gonna get him. DeSharmo is doing really well, has one more win, but I think Ben's got this one. Jimbo over Yellow Dirt, I think that one's pretty good. And I don't know, 5C guy's kind of bad sometimes, so hopefully he doesn't lose. But I know Clarity's been talking a lot of smack, and I didn't know if we were talking smack now, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, Clarity has been pretty active in a bunch of the stream chats I've seen recently, so it's clear that he's not playing Hearthstone, instead shit posting. So hopefully that should give our 5C edge there.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I've totally been playing Hearthstone, not Balloons Tower Defense 6.
I've totally been playing Hearthstone and not doing homework. Wait, no, other way around. I've been responsible for once.
They don't know. They don't know, Justin. We have other priorities.
Yeah, I mean, just in terms of justice, in terms of divine rage, I would hope that you would back our team in this, or my fellow co-hosts, that is Feesh and Mako, because 3 of our players have submitted and none of theirs have. So imagine we're clearly the better team here in terms of helping out the show. So
Nice. I think this match is really close, even though like we have two people from the team on the show. I do think this is close. Like Justin versus your bum kid is such a big matchup. I almost think that match could have a really big factor in who wins the week. I mean, for all I know, you could just have the bottom 3 seeds all win, but also DeSharmo versus Automated Button. It's not an automatic win in the 3 seed for A Butt, as Donde has called him. Diamond versus Clarity, I will give the edge to Diamond. But Clarity's also a really good player, so watch out. Don't sleep on each other. Jimbo versus Dart. Like Dart hasn't had a great season, but it is the playoffs, and Dad Legends tends to show up in the playoffs.
Yellow Dart is undefeated in playoffs.
Well, yes, he's undefeated in this playoffs. Yes, a 1-0
1
record.
out of 1 week.
After having a really rough season, he came back and got a really nice reverse sweep on stream last week. Yeah, it's super close. I don't want to say that, like, I didn't want to automatically give it to Foolish Madman, and I actually ended up picking Dad Legend with the with your mum kid and DeSharmo both taking wins, and then either Yellow Dart or Yellow Dart or Zabe picking up the win for their team. Like, I know Dardar is really good, and he's the only, and like, you know, Dardar and Diamond are both 3-2 with the other people, like 7-0, 6-1, 6-1. But
yeah, me and Darter subbed out. That's the reason why.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I had school stuff, and then Darter also just had to sub out, so that's why it's such a difference. But see, the synergy in the 1 in 5, we just sandwich our good players in between us.
You definitely.
Do you have any thoughts about this, Mako, besides the foolish victory?
I think I gave enough thoughts earlier, personally.
I'll just wanted to.
I don't know. I mean, I think you're really tough hard pressed to pick, the bottom seed over the top seed and say it's an easy win or that it's going to be close. I think it's an uphill battle for Dad Legend. It's possible. I mean, it's not like in no way means something that they can't do. It's playoffs and anything can happen. Undefeated teams in THL playoffs don't have the best record overall. I think it's probably pretty negative. We often see undefeated teams lose in the first round, but I think you're hard pressed to bet against them because they are undefeated for a reason.
Oh,
So
for sure.
I mean, with Darter being in the one and your 2 seed going undefeated all season, and then your 3 and 4 having only lost one match, you're really hard pressed to bet against a team like that. So I don't know. It's
Oh,
it's
no.
doable. I think it's just gonna be a big uphill battle,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's
Yeah.
if it does happen, it's gonna be a 3-2, and it's gonna be really freaking close.
Yeah, it's gonna be a nail biting. It's gonna be pretty exciting, especially because we have the 2 seed match that's gonna be on stream this week, which is awesome. We'll see one person's undefeated run come to an end. All right, we have one more match left to go, and then we'll move on to the other series. So I'll let Mako go ahead and talk about this match first, since I took one that he was supposed to have.
I didn't know I was supposed to have that.
Nah, whatever.
That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
So always top deck lethal and Mean Dream Team, who doesn't have a captain evidently.
It's clone.
It's just yeah, I know.
Stupid. I don't know why the website did that.
I think ATL is I think this is their time. Uh, this is a team that has spent many seasons doing average to well throughout the season and then just not making it as far as they want to. And I think it's about time we see them have their day. So uh I don't know if you would call it an upset. I mean, how did this happen, by the way? How did a team go 6-1 with 117 points and the other one go 5-3 with 129?
I don't know. Like, I'm assuming that's just low points per week.
ATL have to play in the
Gold. No. Yeah.
Includes playoffs.
they had
as
to
well.
play an extra
So
week,
ATL's played one
right?
a week. But
They didn't
yeah,
get a bye,
still,
so they had to play more.
Okay, yeah. Anyways, yeah,
Still,
no,
yeah,
I don't know. I think ATL, like, Blue has been, behind his teams every single season, and everyone always underestimates them. And here they are. I think we're gonna look at an ATL finally, making that push towards hopefully a finals appearance. I don't think it'll
Yeah.
be a finals victory, but a finals appearance. So I think things are looking up.
Yeah, I agree. I think the matchup that, I mean, if me Dream Team wins, it'd probably be with Easy Bake, Clone, and probably Well Played winning. But Shunsway is no pushover. He was my first ever THL opponent, and we had a really good match, and he did beat me. And ATL put an absolute beatdown on my team last week. In Pro, they won every single match with so yeah, if that has anything to say about how strong they are as a team. Um, yeah, I think ATL is gonna take this one.
yeah, I don't know too many of these players, but I sided towards Meme Dream Team. Nails is so cracked though, and if Matt Ebbs keeps winning, if those 2 wins happen there, then I guess that's the way it happens the other way. But
Yeah.
Ryan,
I
do you
get-
have any thoughts on this?
I think this is gonna end up being a 3-2. I think Well Played and Jester go in the 5-4. I don't know about Matty because I haven't realized Matty Ebbs is this high PR, to be honest. 'Cause I remember when I first started playing, he was like in the 200s. So I'd play him in the 4-5 seed, and now he's up in the 3 seed. And I don't know interval either, but I know Clone. Hopefully he might win, and I think Nails and Easy Bake is a really good match. And as you said, Nails is really cracked at the game. So it might come down to the 3 seed match, in my opinion, because I think everything else goes to the other side. So 3-2 to, I'll say Meme Dream Team because they got a bye, but ATL could win this, and then I mean, then they have to play us next round if we win, so it's hard, but we'll see what happens. For Blue's sake, if they win, that's good, obviously, because I don't know how many times they made playoffs, they don't make it. It's like, my team will make it next year.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna have 2 playoff teams this season, which is really great for that whole like ATL org, or I guess you want to call it a group versus an organization. Um, yeah, figure we'll put a nice solid bow on legacy playoffs with any last thoughts from from everybody. Then we'll move on to Hero.
Not a thought on Legacy playoffs, but thank you for the subscription, Dabs HS, for the 4th month in a row.
Yeah, thanks, Dabs.
Yeah, sounds like we're ready to move on to the next series. Then.
All right, awesome. So we're gonna move into Hero. We're gonna start by looking at the standings that we've got for this series. A lot of the top seeded teams are pretty much all locked up. Besides Teal Conference, Teal Conference is very, very interesting. With the various scenarios that can play out. MPH with the bye week, kind of sitting and waiting to see what happens. But Orange Conference has a 2-team race to either both make it to the playoffs or only one. Looks like Teal has like 4 different teams that can all make it. My guess is Dab on them's probably gonna make it because they have a lot of points before this week, but also Ask HS has a lot of points coming in, and they have to play F2L Black while Dab has to play transfer students.
It's very interesting.
Absolutely.
All the number 1 teams have a bye, so they could.
Yeah.
Especially in Teal, I think NPH is getting past. Unless a Dab just gets 23-0'd, then well, I guess that's how it happens. But
Yeah.
seems unlikely in my eyes because Dab is a really strong roster. One of them's got to win. At least they're probably going to win the week. I guess we'll cover that shortly.
Yes, the likely scenario that most people are talking about is if Davon doesn't get absolutely destroyed, they get, I don't know, like 5 to 10 more points, they're going to be in playoffs in either 1 or 2 spot alongside the winner of Ask HS versus F2L Black. And then it will be the loser of that Ask HS F2L Black match, combining with Tampam Surf Slam and combining with Agua and combining with Servants to try to get for 2 of those last 4 teams for 2 wildcard slots. It is possible that No Pros here somehow sneaks in, but between 4 teams currently on around 95 points, you'd assume that at least 2 of them is going to have more than a 15-point week and is going to surpass No Pros here, though there is the outside chance that none of them do. So points are definitely at a premium this week.
For sure.
And especially because they're in separate conference, unlike our playoff races for Legacy a few weeks ago, where it was a lot of teams that were facing each other head to head. Like there could be a scenario where Tampams goes 4-1 or something, and Agua goes 4-1, or Servants goes 4-1, and only one of them get in.
Yeah.
So with some exceptions, assuming no team is going to sweep. Well, obviously, if you sweep, that's great. There's always some dependence on other teams. No team is completely has it within their own destiny.
Mako, any thoughts on? I figure we can maybe give like tentative thoughts on who we think the two bye teams are gonna be. I mean, it's hard with Teal Conference not even having a solid 1 and 2. But like, do you think that like it's
do not have thoughts?
Do not have thoughts.
No, I mean
there's no buys.
Yeah, I mean, MPH isn't making it.
Yeah.
They needed more points at this point to kind of secure. I mean, even if you just look at the teams who are going to be vying for the at large spots, like they're going to get passed by those teams too.
Yeah, they are.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think you're looking at your top 2s right now are probably going to be your top 2s outside of NPH, and then the Dab bottom Mask HS F2L Black is kind of just a toss up, but it's going to be one of those or 2 of those 3, and then your other at large, who the hell knows? Who the hell knows how that's gonna go? It's gonna
Yeah.
be whoever's left of those three that didn't make the top two of Teal, and then one other team. But
Gotcha.
I wouldn't be able to tell you who it was.
Yeah. Maybe it's easier to see once each match that you can decide or have a better idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what. Yeah, and we're gonna do that. We're gonna go through the four like high contesting matches of and kind of give our thoughts on them. We'll start in the Purple Conference match, which is Tampams versus Fair and Balanced. Whoever wants to go through that one, can talk about it.
Yeah, I can. I reached out to JR for a quote about this. I was working late today, but with us here in spirit. And you said he would say confident that they're going to take a big win this week. But whether we need it or not, or whether or not will be enough is still up in the air. We're just going to play our best and hope that's enough to barely squeak into playoffs. Which I guess is the only positive mentality you can have right here. They are going up against the bomb team in their conference, Fair and Balanced. And I think this is something we've talked about before, but Fair and Balanced already has one sub this week. There can be a tendency sometimes for, if your team's losing, to just take it a little less seriously. It's not necessarily that you're throwing, but just I don't know. There's other things competing in your life. Do you want to spend a few hours prepping for THL if your team's not making playoffs, or would you rather be doing your staying late in the office like JR? So if there's a capitulation here from Fair and Balanced, then that would see Tampams easily into playoffs. But I mean, there's other times the other side of the coin as well, where teams really have a lot of pride and keep fighting. And it's not just that they win; it's the margin of their victory here to win more than the other teams, like we talked about before. So any sort of obstacles from Wild9, who is, I believe, went 6-1 in the 2 in Legacy this season, is a very solid player. If he picks a win off DeSharmo and somebody, or anything like that, things start looking not quite as good.
I think you bring a fair point with motivation. I think some people in Fairmount, I know Wild9 is going to try every week. I think Cherp as well. Cherp's like, he'll either try or he won't, but I know King of Pixels, Cherp's friend, he's joining. He's always the person who says howdy in the Discord, if you don't recognize that name.
Yes.
And then, honestly, yeah, this is like Tanpams. It's their opportunity. If they can get 23 points, that'd be great. You know, make your chances more. So it's basically Tanpams to win. Fair and Balanced, they're just having fun, basically. Just trying to get matches played, get experience. But Tanpams should win this if they prep hard enough. So that's where I stand about this match.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just gonna come down to how many points they end up with. Um, Pretty much.
Should we move on to the next one?
Sure. Next match, Mako. Why don't you go ahead and tell me about Servant's match with Darkside of Cthulhu? I know one match is currently being played.
One match is currently being played. I can actually give you an update on that match.
Yeah.
Currently Neji is down 1-2 to Donde, but it's Donde, so we know he throws very, very easily. So I can easily swing back in Neji's favor. I don't know. It's fairly low percentage. I think for us, we're gonna need to really get like at least 4 out of 5 of our wins here to get that at large position for playoffs. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's very doable. I think our matchups are pretty good, for the most part. Though I would have given Neji a 3-1 and the 1, and it's 1-2 right now. So who the hell knows?
Yeah.
I think we're fine.
I do notice some roster moves. I do like the way the roster is looking, so I do believe you can 23. Obviously, Neji, with not knowing Neji's result right now, I would say your team is looking really well into their lineup. Because I know Feesh subbed out, and Adam was here too, and now you have someone who likes playing Hearthstone in the 2, so I think that's a good improvement.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it.
Yeah, removing the players who are struggling the most on the team and replacing it with people who will who are either playing more or have obviously more time commitment to give and are playing better will help a team a lot. I actually like.
True, just might be a little too late. I think.
Yeah,
How's the
Where
team?
we're
How's this
at.
team not
I'm-
already lock things up? Every
I mean-
single one of their players is 50% or above that.
Yeah.
No one has a losing season. It's
yeah,
insane.
but when you had someone who went 1-5 in the 5C for most of the season, yeah, they got
It's right. That's what it is right now. But
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, it's not what it was. So.
no for sure.
I will. I really do want you guys to win. 'Cause
I
I
do
think
too.
Donde's team not winning a single week is kind of funny to me, and I
Yeah.
hope it stays that way.
Agreed.
Even though Dande, as noted in the chat, may occasionally somehow high roll us somehow in game, at least his team would not have
The
gotten
team
any.
would- It could be
It's-
Donde if Donde wins, and then everyone else just wins. I could see that result
I mean-
happening.
There's
Sure.
only one explanation. THL is a team sport. Maybe Dande is just a bad teammate.
I mean, if Dunde's gonna get a win, then anything can happen. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Like-
Dab's funny. The rigged. Donde might rig
Like-
the entire thing.
Well, like obviously, I'm pulling for Servants to pull it out for the weekend, make playoffs. But I mean, the way that it's playing out, it's so tight of a race. I mean, you know, they could put up a lot of points and still not make it. So we'll see what happens. And I'll transition over to the second Orange Conference match. Diamond, why don't you talk to me about Agua versus Onk?
Yeah, I think this is one of the matches of the week. You got some teammates, Justin and Dart are battling it out. Both of them not as well in the hero. I think Darter's records flipped from Legacy and Hero. So it's interesting to see. You got Avi versus #1 hero player Turtle. Will Turtle keep a spot? We'll see. You got Siak versus Molstar. I think that's a really good match as well. 9 versus Scritch. Will Scritch win a game? Who knows? Will 9 go 50%? And then you have RoboCat's Darren, who's always in the chat. Obviously, the bat Smile Heart versus Skirt Reynolds, whose rookie season he's doing very well. I'd like to say.
Yeah,
the 5
he
seed.
is.
I'm not sure how it works for Agua to get in. Do they need to blow out Tonk or the minimum
Yeah,
number? But
they really have to put up. They really have to put up numbers. I think they have the hardest road to make playoffs of all the teams.
yeah, it's really hard to say with a lot of these players. I know
Yeah.
them personally. Like I know Mole. I think I can do this. I think. All right. I think Darter wins because he brought Shaman, and Darter as Shaman's kind of crazy. Turtle, it's colon Turtle colon, #1 player in Hero who goes 8-0. I think CMAC might also win because Molestar just can't win in 3C for some reason, even though he's been like #1 or #2 legend. I think 9's gonna close it out over Scritch. Sadly goes winless. Will he do Hero again? Who knows? And then I think Darren finishes the season 7-1. It probably locks up an all-star first time all-star
Agreed.
appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, our team is already. Well, I mean, it's not enough to put us our logo top of the conference on whatever dumb show plays on Tuesdays here.
Hearth
We
Center.
are
Hey,
one behind,
That's the show I'm
one
on.
behind a team with a with a bye in the final week. So we've pretty much already locked the conference win. Turtle's still fighting for that undefeated record too, but Avi told me privately that he is not going to bring Quest Rogue against Turtle again. So maybe, well, he'll definitely have his work cut out for him.
Maybe Avi will bring his new deck that he always posts on the new Twitter deck.
Ooh, true.
It's always Avi. He's gonna bring something weird and somehow win with it. But it's Turtle. Like you can't vote against.
I'm
Turtle
not.
this
Yeah, I
season.
can't vote against Turtle.
He's 7-0 for a reason.
Yeah, he's doing
The
really
power
really
of
well.
Yo.
If I continue,
I said it.
if I continue throwing some games and Turtle continues chomping down all the oranges as he has been doing this season, it won't be too long till he becomes Turtle 1 seed, and that is scary.
Yeah.
Oh, the Turtle ones.
He started last season in the 4 seed and just has not lost much since.
Turtle's
went, like-
kind of a monster.
Yeah,
I think
he
he went
is.
8-2 last season, or 7-3, and worked his way up to the 3 and just hasn't looked back.
Yeah. I think Mako was saying something.
Yeah, I said it at the beginning of the before the season started, and I still think it's true to this day, and that's Agua is the strongest team on paper, and I mean outside of Scritch's struggling season right now, like you're really hard pressed to find another team that's this strong in a non or in a PR series. I mean, Molstar is an absolutely insane, like top 10 legend player, and Avi and Dart are both 550 players who consistently are destroying their field. And then RoboCats is just cheating the PR system.
Yeah.
He's like
very
400
very
PR
very
under
humbly.
posted.
He's not doing it on purpose. But yeah, I mean, should be way higher PR than he is. So like on paper, this team
Yeah.
is just absolutely nuts. So I really would like to see them get into playoffs. Because I think if they do, they can potentially, win the whole thing if they can get the whole 5v5 or the best of 5 mentality in, and maybe the ladder mentality out, because like these players on paper are absolutely insane. So I don't know. I think I would love to see them in playoffs, but that's I mean statistically it's not a very good matchup they're looking at.
Yeah. I agree. I think like I looked at it, I was like there was like two teams that I wanted to avoid being in a conference with. That was a Gungan and Tonk, and lucky us, we got put in the conference with them. But I mean, it's been fun,
I mean,
at least.
what do you mean, Fish? Orange is free.
I mean, yeah, sure, orange is free.
Uh,
Yeah.
did we?
Yeah, we got one more match. We'll look at this teal conference match. We got Ask HS versus F2L Black. We have one result in. So, Mako, why don't you kind of start off with thoughts on Ask HS versus F2L?
Sure, I think Mr. Python will win the 1 seed.
True. Who would have
Bold take,
thought?
bold take.
Thank you.
Bold take.
I don't know. I mean, looking at the players here, like my mind immediately goes to F2L Black. If you would have asked me before I saw this, I would have said F2L Black, 100%. But looking at it now, it's really hard to say that because it would have been easier if it wasn't a 3-0, but the 3-0 just puts a damper on that. So I don't know. I still think F2L Black can win this. Again, like on paper, it's really hard because you look at a lot of teams on paper and they're just absolute monsters of teams, and then they do kind of mid results throughout the season, and it's just really hard to you know figure out what how to make these predictions. So I don't know. My mind's going F2L Black, and I'm probably just gonna stick with it just because I think that they're the better team here. But 3-0 is hard to talk against,
Yeah, I think that both teams. I think that both teams playoffs regardless. It's just gonna be a matter of who's just gonna be a matter of who has the most points at the end of the week. Justin and Diamond.
Justin, you can go first, and I'll go after you.
Yeah, Atachi just hasn't been quite having the season in most conferences that I'm sure he wished for. But I don't have anything too much in addition for Mako to say. It's all about. If it looks like F2L is going to lose from here, it's all about for them to pick up the maximum number of points and just not get swept or continue to. Because if they put up 10 points on the board this week, even though that's going to be a losing effort, they're probably going to make playoffs. So 4 matches left to get 10 points. That seems pretty doable. All you have to do is win 2 of them and then get like 2 game wins across the other 2. I think they'll just get over the line. about you, Diamond?
Yeah, I think the 1 seed, even without looking at the result, I think went to Mr. Python. I think Bombdy will take the 1 as well. Bobson might be a bit preoccupied with his legacy match because he's in playoffs now. And I think Hockey, he's a monster in Hero. Like every time, he's always does really well. So I think he's gonna win as well for Draco Cat. That would be a good match. I think the Chronic's gonna beat Kel, and the 5 seed, I'm gonna give it to Rotted Zombie because he's a good Discord profile picture. And that's all I can base it off of because I know nothing about doubles because I don't interact with them. So I'm gonna give it to F12 Black, but I think it's close. And I think by this, I think they will make playoffs because they typically do make playoffs and they do pretty good for themselves.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I can see it going to F12 Black that way. Because I mean, Rod's an insanely strong player. Like, I mean, I guess like because he's a WoW player, like it's just gonna be learning, adjusting like how things play out in standard versus how things play out in wild. I mean, some of the decks are kind of similar, but they're generally not the same. And I think no, and especially also getting used to the last hero standing format, which there hasn't been a lot of last hero standing stuff. That's been like
Recently,
yeah,
especially
recent.
'cause Dream hacks aren't around as much, and that was the
Yeah,
main LHS thing. So yeah, definitely THL is like the main. If you want to play last hero standing a lot, then here it is.
Or
And I think
Battlegrounds.
or
you know,
BGs. Yeah,
BGs, we have
we
everything.
have everything.
I'm waiting for the Tavern Brawl series though, Mako. I'm waiting excitedly. I'm excited for that one.
Speaking of everything, are we all done talking about Hero now? Because then we
Yeah,
move on to another thing that we
yeah.
have commercial breaks. Uh, so Ron Nexco is actually in chat for once, so he can witness
Oh,
my attempt. So everyone, thank you so much for tuning into Tavern Talk. If you are enjoying our show, make sure to check out Mako making fun of people around the whole saloon on Mondays and Ronnie Tuesday on Hearth Center someday that you'll never guess in the week after that. Is that not enough content for you? Well, we stream THL matches each night from Thursday to Sunday starting at 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern. All evening match schedules are to be determined by caster and player availability. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. But wait, that's not all. We also have incredible matches at weekend afternoons on Schoolstone. Precise times and days subject to availability. Please consider subscribing to our channel. The subscription enables the THL team to help cover the various costs of operating our website and improve the quality of our streams and content to our viewers. And I see someone asking in the chat, what's Twitch Prime? Well, if you have Amazon Prime Gaming, you can sub to the channel for free. Subscribers will get a THL emoticon as well as lovely THL chat badge and sub emotes. So hit that heart button, keep the notifications on, and make sure you catch our team broadcasting live. We appreciate each and every one of you. Special note to our viewers, check out THL's other social media points of interest, such as our website, at some things in the chat. Follow us on Twitter at a specific handle. Join our Discord and listen to the THL Pal podcast wherever podcasts are sold.
All right.
that was very impressive.
What does Ron have to say? I mean, not 100% PDC. Oh, you got the Ron hard emote, man. Approval for Justin. Let's go.
Wow, this
The
is
heir
this is a blessed
apparent.
day.
Blessed. All right.
It's true. It's been a while since I've gotten a haircut, so I do. It's apparent that I have quite a bit of hair.
Yeah. Cool.
Anyways, moving on to Mr. THL's favorite series.
Yes. Favorite series of Mr. THL. We have Pro Series. We're gonna go through a couple matches, one from each of the conferences. Starting in the Pink Conference, we're gonna start with F2O versus Attack Mode. Any one of you can go ahead and talk about this match. I guess.
Yeah, so I can start out with this. I believe this was a topic of conversation on Around the Saloon
it
on Monday.
was. It definitely was.
Of whether ATK mode can pull off the upset against F2L. So neither of these some of these players I'm not too well versed in personally, but I see that despite the big disparity in their overall week win rates, they're not too different in points. I mean, 20 points is significant, but given the 3 extra times 3 bonuses that F2L has gotten for the 3 extra wins, they'll be 8 points above just on that. So the actual match win rate isn't all that different. So this may be a bit closer than it would appear on paper. I don't know. What do you guys think? Mako has listened to people ramble on about this endlessly. Do you have actually any thoughts on it?
We talked about this. This was our last question on Monday. Which was can ATK? Who the hell said it? Who was
You can say it either way.
No, I know, but someone
Yeah.
kept calling it ATK mode, and I made fun of them. Oh, it's Lotus Knight. Attack mode. It was if attack mode could beat F2L this week for the upset. And I think around the board, except for maybe one person, it was a yes. And I think it really could be the case. I mean, attack mode's kind of getting carried by their 1 and 2 seeds. Everyone else seems to be struggling. If they can, get it together, attack mode could easily come up and kind of ruin a lot of people's days. But on the other side of the coin, F2L's really been holding it together for ever since they had that captain change, which was another thing we talked about, which was with the change of captain, are they gonna pick up the pace? And they did. Someone brought it up on Monday.
Yeah.
They've gone, I think, like 4-0 or 5-0 since the switch, and it's been insane. So yeah, you missed.
So I
the
guess what
commercial
you're
break.
saying it really is. I guess what you're saying really is that you should not miss out on watching Hearth or Around the Saloon on Mondays.
No.
Yeah, because we just talk about everything they're gonna talk about.
They already know.
Yeah, they already know. But I mean, this is the best pink conference match. Like, there are some other obviously great teams, but they're not really necessarily playing each other this week. I think
this is your best match.
I think so.
Period this week, not just pink.
Probably.
What about us?
The next match we're about to talk about is probably also in that contention. But I think it will be tough for F2. I think it will be tough for attack mode to take the week over over F2L here. I mean, because apparently Kim Magician was kind of struggling to start the week, but he's just been firing on all cylinders for the last couple of weeks. I mean, like Rescue Wabbit and Berserk are two insane players. Like Berserk being someone who was one game away from being a grandmaster this last season. But also Flamekiller and Brian O'Brien are also very good, very very good players. But I think that it would end up, even if Rescue Wabbit and Berserk do end up taking losses, I think that the bottom 3 of F2L are strong enough to win the week for them. And if Rescue Wabbit or Berserk win, I think that F2L should probably take the week pretty easily in their quest to stay within the top 4 of pink.
Yeah, I think honestly this comes down to, I think, if Brian O'Brien can win against Berserk. That's the match that it comes to, because I think Flamekiller I think he's honestly going to end undefeated this season. The guy's insane. I met him at Master Tour Arlington, and just talking to his level of understanding about the game, it's more or equal to people such as the guy who carried me in Tespa. Don't know, his name was Eddie. I think Che Magician will win in the 3 seed. I want to more sure about. I think Smork. If Smork pulls out a win, I think they could just win the week, because
Yeah.
Smork has been struggling, and I know he's good, but I think a lot of his things are not his Hearthstone ability, but his own mental ability, getting his own head. And I think either someone on ATK mode takes a week break or something like that, I think comes back, they can make it. So if he wins this week, that's really good, I think, for them with their playoff intentions as well. So I think this is a must win week for ATK mode, not just for points, but for morale, because they are 2-4 and that looks bad on paper.
Yeah, agreed. Justin, any thoughts, Justin?
I was just going to comment on Diamond's subtle humble brag about going to a Masters tour.
Going in person as well.
THL
That's the
5
even bigger.
seed,
Yeah.
5 seed
True.
legacy at a Masters tour. Easy.
Yeah. Should we move on to the Black
Yeah.
Conference
Let's
match?
go on to the Black Conference match. We've got I'll let Diamond go through this match then.
Yeah, of course, I make all the players on my team, they just show up when they think we're going to be on stream. I think everyone except Fosho and Buck so far. We got For the Boys, just Aeon, and now Mako's on. We get to kind of banter back and forth between our two teams. I think we won 5-0. What about you, Mako?
I mean, you might 1-4, sure, but
Is your loss in the 1 seed?
always is.
Always is.
Exactly.
I watched
The best
Star Center
performance
last
there.
season. 4-1s every week.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I still think the other match is the better match of the week because I think it has more implications than this one does. But
Yeah.
If
I don't
if you
know.
guys
This
do
is gonna be
win,
a close match.
you guys can make it because you guys are like I think 5th or 6th right now, off 4th. So you guys are still kind of there with 3 weeks left,
Yeah. I don't even know what
and
team.
you've already had your bye because the 4th it's Clown College and Sugoi Red, and I think then it's you guys. But I haven't checked, but I think there
Yeah.
is a lot for you guys to play for here. But obviously, it's a heart match, I would say, in my opinion. Not biased at all.
Yeah, and why and Yashiraj's Clown College Place will go red this week, so there's like Aeon can get right back in it if they have like a good week and one of those teams blows out the other team. They would be really close. if not the fourth team at that point.
The pro season has only 3 weeks left. It's
Yeah.
not that much.
No.
A few teams have played 8, but most teams have played 7 out of their 10 total matches here. So
Yeah.
talking about like 30% of their season still up to play for. And you look at the top 4 in black. 4th place in black has 16.75 points per week, and 5th place has 14. So it's a gap of like 2.75 points per week. Absolutely massive at this stage in the season to overcome. So, I mean, Aeon honestly could even get 5-0 this week, and they get 5-0 this week, and they'd still be favored to make playoffs by like quite a decent margin.
Okay.
So, yeah, it'll be cool to see who wins this. Bragging rights going into playoffs. Maybe
For sure. Yeah.
early look at a title contender staking their claim. Not that For the Boys hasn't already, but I don't think it's all that relevant. And yeah, I agree with Mako saying the other one's a bit spicier.
Do you have any thoughts about this one, Fish, or additional thoughts?
I think that I think this is gonna be a good week, a good one. I do favor For the Boys here. With Shep over Donde. Buck and Buck Nasty versus Rhat's gonna be a really good match. I mean, Buck Nasty is
Donde.
definitely takes after his namesake and is quite nasty of a player. He's absolutely cracked.
Donde and Shep's on stream on Sunday, I believe. So
Yeah,
that'll be
they are.
interesting one to watch. Could decide the week potentially.
And Super Chicken versus Markshire. They both have the same record. Like all these close record matchups, like it's really interesting to see. Like Chicken versus Markshire, I could see that going kind of either way, but I also don't know a Super Chicken all that well. I know he's in chat.
He got a Player of the Week, if that sways you at all.
Nice.
But you never know. We are against a board team. Things can get rigged. They're magical powers. Maybe
This
I
is
have
true
to
as well.
lose,
You now know Super Chicken. You have to be a Player of the Week in THL to be considered a good player. This is why Heat Shot cannot be considered a good player. He has admitted when he was on this show a few weeks ago that he had never, despite seasons of dominance, has never been Player of the Week.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, anyone have last thoughts on this match?
No.
No.
Should we move on to the Wild series?
Yeah. We're going to our last series, which is
Let's-
Wild. So first match we have is Hair Club. So we're gonna do again one from kind of each conference. I picked one from the Green Conference. I don't know if this is. It's weird because Wild plays cross conference matches, so I don't really know if it's a pure like Green Conference match. But I picked Hair Club versus Made in Heaven because it has some teams that are in playoff contention, and this seems to be a pretty good match for the week. I know that Hair Club's like a really looking at Hair Club, they're a very strong team. Like from what I've heard from all the Wild players, like Keith Numbers versus Snake Fods, and Snake Fods is obviously a very good player in Standard Series as well. I know I think he plays a lot of Wild too. Whenever I see him on my friends list, like, he has mostly his Wild banner for his rank. We got Otters versus Peanuts, Burnt versus I wish I knew how to say that, Kyrex, but it's probably said some other way. Concerned Mom versus Mentalistic, and White Delight versus Nifola. I I wish there was actual decks to look at. Unfortunately, there isn't. I think Hair Club's gonna take this. And I'm very interested to see how the three and four matches go here. I think Keith Numbers and Otters end up being favored in their matches. White Delight is I would favor over Nephilim, so I think Hair Club will take the week. It's just gonna be like if how much points Made in Heaven can kind of get, and if Kyrex or Mentalistic can take a week off of their opponents.
Yeah, I didn't realize that a majority of this team is actually in pro under the Glockora name. This whole time,
Oh yeah,
I was like, sorry, that's just me because I don't really pay attention to Wild. I the only one who I know well is Snake Fods on this team, but I know Keith Numbers. I'm pretty sure got Player of the Week last week,
oh, okay.
or I guess this week. And I just know White Delight's Shaman guy really good, Concerned Mom streamer good, Burnt good, Otter's good. So I feel like this is for Hair Club, but obviously it's close records wise, and I don't know anything personally about Wild. Oh, okay, so Keith Numbers beat Rami. I'm gonna favor Keith Numbers the 1 seed for sure.
Yeah,
I'll lock that one down.
yeah. Keith Numbers is a
But
really good
yeah,
player.
that's really all the insight I could provide. If Mako or Justin, if you know anything or you want to chip in, I know it's Wild. You guys don't play in it.
I'm not gonna say a single word here because I know one of these players.
Gotcha.
Respectable.
Yeah,
I know slightly
respectable.
more than one, but not enough about Wild to really know what I'm talking about. But I would back the few players I know on the Made in Heaven team.
Yeah, Made in Heaven is Glockora team.
Yeah.
It's half a Glock or a half Wild.
Yeah.
Bit of a shift there.
Gotcha.
All I know is Snake Fods' team is a JoJo's reference, and that's all I can tell you more about this team.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Should
nice.
we move on to the Brown Conference one, Fish?
Yeah, let's move on to the Brown Conference match. These ones have some more names that I know. We got Bash Bros 2, Electric Boogaloo versus a Noyo team.
Such a good name.
I know. Yeah, Diamond, you can go ahead and talk about this one.
I did pick this match purely because last season I think I was still in Wild or Captain Wild.
You were.
And I recognized both these names, and Bash Bros had melee characters. So looking at this, I think that 1 seed matchup looks very spicy because I recognize MTG Squirrel. Back when I first was playing Hearthstone, he played more standard stuff and held tournaments and stuff. And I know Rice Bull, who was in Battlegrounds, was really good. So I'd favor Rice Bull here. I always got back doing because it's in his name. They're just gonna win. So
Yeah.
obviously. And Mr. Python just went 8-0 in Hero, so has the pedigree. I think he wins. And Bone Smasher sounds way cooler than Nubinator, so I think they win. And I think Mad at Arm wins. Not sure though. Game 3-0.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's funny because I usually would favor Doin, but against Jailstorm, I think this is a very close. That's a very close matchup. Rice Bowl versus MTG Squirrel. I will give to MTG Squirrel. They're both strong players. Obviously 6-1. So it could go either way. I'm gonna favor Squirrel. It's so hard to pick between Do It and Jailstorm. And I know that match is actually gonna be on Saturday School Stone.
That sounds. I was about to ask. I'm like either the 1, 2, or 3. One of these matches has to be on Stone,
Yeah.
especially with a team with a 1-point difference in teams. Like
Yeah.
it's very nice.
Python versus Slight. Man, Slight's such a good wild player. Mr. Python's also
this
very
is,
good.
Just add in. This is a cross conference, I believe. Or no, it's not. Sorry.
No,
Anoya
both
team's
teams.
the 1 seed
Yeah.
at 116, tied with Hey Loser, and Bash Bros the 3 seed at 113. So
Okay, so this is like
potentially we could see a new leader in this. Oh, sorry, no, it's wait. What am I doing? Wait. Oh, because
they
counted
got
Anoya's
victory.
victory.
Yeah, they counted the
Okay,
4 points.
so-
Yeah.
All right. That confused me, but this is very close. We could see a potential
Yeah.
new leader in the conference.
I-
Yeah, I think this is the most interesting wild one to me, just
Oh,
based off
yeah.
records and name recognition.
This is the best wild match of the this is the best wild match of the week. I think because most of like the upper tier green conference teams are not playing like they're not playing another top team, so they're probably gonna win really big between everyone's a winner in F2L Viridian.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
Yeah.
It was like this is the only one where it's like 2 at least close. You don't want to pick
Yeah.
a team that's
It's tough to pick one of the other two teams and just be like, well, they're probably gonna 4-1 or 5-0. Maybe if a couple players slip up, it'll be a 3-2. But this one's like, wow, this is definitely a 3-2. I will favor a Noyo team, because I think I know Mr. Python's undefeated in Hero, but I know that, but I will give a slight edge or Slate.
Nice.
Yeah, and then
Oh, man.
and then Anubinator and Bone Masher will be interesting as well. Bone Masher coming in as a sub. Don't know which one he subbed in for. I know Mad at Arms replaced Mike V on the team though. And so he's 2-1. So it's really cool to see Matt at Arms coming back, playing a series and doing well. Yeah.
I would like to take a sidetrack because earlier I said Neji was down 1-2, but he's playing Don Day, so it's not gonna matter. And Neji just ended up winning 3-2. So
Oh,
Um,
Let's go.
throw that out there.
Oh, thank you,
Easy
Bone Masher. Yeah. Okay, Bone Masher came in for Bat Seal. So appreciate that. Yeah. So Neji, I say goat. Even though there's a lot of players a long ways from actually being a goat.
I mean,
Highlander. He says
this
he says Highlander mage goat.
I would say, yeah, Neji is just side note. He's like, I think #1 crossover. He's
Yeah.
like winning in everything. Like, probably is
He
gonna
was
win. I think
by-
he won last year.
Yeah,
Start of
he won last
he
season
was-
as well.
At start of season, he was top in PR in both Hero and Legacy, and has only been extending that.
Yeah. He actually started. There was one week where he went 0-4. He lost every single match, and then since then he has barely lost. The entire season.
That's what you like to see.
That
Your
was-
1 seed.
Yeah.
Sorry. If any other thought, Justin, do you recognize if you want to add anything? Otherwise, we can move on.
I
Sure.
think we're all good here, yeah.
Cool.
All right.
It's questions
That's
time.
all the matches.
Moving on.
Questions time.
Question time. We
Most
got an
exciting
interview.
part.
Unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, we only have questions for Diamond. So we're gonna start off. I will go ahead and ask this first one. This is from Lotus Knight. He says, "What's the hardest part of being a captain, and the biggest lesson that you've learned, like through captaining?"
Oh, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
Sorry, could you repeat the first part?
What's the hardest part of being a captain?
I would say getting the team together, honestly, because sometimes you want certain players and they're locked up, and you just want to grab them instantly. But I think also like maintaining what's it called, motivation through the season. Like say if I'm on a team, I'm co-opening a team, they go 0-3, they're probably like, yeah, we're not gonna make it. It's like your job, I think, as a captain. All right, guys, you can do this, you can win. And I try doing that with some teams. Like in pro, I only captain. Like obviously we're winning, but I'll like try posting their previous opponents. Like I'll post past 3 weeks. Hey, this might help you with prep. And I know a lot of the guys appreciate it on there, and I try to do that when I can. Kind of slacked recently because I've been busy with like school and work. And then sorry, there was a second part to this question, right?
Yeah. And what's the biggest lesson you've learned?
Biggest lesson I learned is from my first season captaining, I chose people who were like did really well with the previous season. I was like, oh, I think my first season was like a mix and mash of random players. I didn't know anyone when I first captained. I like
Yeah.
played a season, won a championship, or I won two, and then I just started captaining, and I didn't have any friends. I think always having someone you can rely on as well. And I've learned players that you've known, you've talked to, don't, because sometimes you get random people, you don't know if they're going to show up. I know I had that in the beginning. Someone would DQ, and I'm like, "Hey man, can he show up?" And they're like, "Oh, I got to can," and then I just subbed him out. I was like, "Okay, I'll sub you out for someone else." That happened for me in Legacy, but ever since then, I think I know enough people now. That's fine. But for new captains, I think going in with people you know as well is really good, just so you have reliable people. I think that's the biggest thing, just reliability.
Really good answer. Honestly,
Okay.
me sitting here, I'm just like taking notes on all of this in my head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I've captained a lot, and I didn't
Yeah.
realize captain a lot until I think Mako could tell you. There was one season where I captained 4 series, and Mako said, "Are you fucking kidding me? Are you captaining 4 series? Are you gonna be okay?" And I was like, "Yeah," and I did it, and that was. And then I never notice how I've never captained 4 series again. I did it once, and that was over, and I only
Yeah.
captained 2 minutes, two maximum.
Yeah.
It's a
That
lot.
makes sense. Right. Next question.
Next question. I'm gonna skip to the most recent one we asked. That was asked, "What do you think of the new Northeastern assistant coach for Hearthstone? Are you jealous of how leavened he is?" This one asked by Bread.
Well, I recently figured out that since I got the position at my school to be the Hearthstone director, I've been replaced by Bread. I mean, Bread, he's a campaign director. He's part of a lot of winning stuff. You know, props to him. Made it to that position. I wish him only the best. Make sure you show up on time, Bread, to those meetings because they kind of sneak up on you because they snuck up on me. That's my advice. And I know Northeastern, you guys don't really need a coach. You guys kind of win on your own. It just you and the varsity team helps out. And I mean, that's what my legacy team was, just a bunch of Northeastern players, and went 7-0 in the regular
Nice.
season.
Oh, okay. That's
So
where you got your players.
yeah, oh yeah, that's both of them automated button plays on one team. And does Jimbo play with him, or do they play
Yeah.
separate?
Ben and Jimbo are teammates.
Yeah, so I got
being
two.
on it.
Yeah, because the only person missing from varsity was Mr. Beluga, who plays with Dardar and Justin. So yeah.
Nice.
Uh,
Right.
yeah, just for the record, jealous of Leavened or no?
Honestly, I don't really know what that means, so I'm gonna say
Leavened.
no.
It's like leaven is like what makes bread like stuff.
It is an adjective that describes normally bread as light and airy, in
Yeah.
contrast to the hard diamond gem.
Gotcha.
I'm not jealous.
Mhm.
No.
All right.
Hey,
So
pressure makes diamonds.
got a bunch of questions from a particular person. I'll try to go through these as fast as I can. We have
I'll try.
these are all questions from a certain dog that you
Oh,
have on your team.
my dog.
Yeah. Who was the
Yeah.
best player you ever recruited? This is a loaded question.
I would. Oh God, so many people. I'd say there's a couple that come to mind. So with my pro team, I think the biggest one was German Shep. He's the one asking the question.
Yeah.
Chat, just to let you know.
This is
Yeah, just-
these are Shep's
But
questions.
honestly, with I know a lot of people I've talked to, they were really surprised about my ability to just DM random people that I have no affiliation with. I just DM Chep after he won, or he got second in Aspen. I was like, hey dude, I've followed you around and like you seem really cool. You wanna do this thing? He's like, okay. And that's kinda happened. I know with people like Dabs or like I've even like I've asked other people, I've met them or talked to them. Like Justin and Dardar, Avi introduced me to them, but I think Shep's the only person who I like went out of my way, contacted them, became their friend, and now if I need Shep somewhere, I'll plop him in. Because Dabs, I met him at Masters Tour, humble brag, by the way. And
Nice.
just we were paired together in the testing, so we got to talk and like I already had that connection, and then Ego knew him as well. He's like, "Oh, this is Dabs. He's really good Diamond." I was like, "Oh, cool. Hey, Dabs."
Cool.
And yeah.
Nice. All right. No, biggest battleground scam of all time? Question mark.
Okay. If anyone who doesn't know, me and Shep at the end of Battlegrounds and playoffs, we became partners because it just worked better time wise. There was on stream a like 0 point something percent chance because me and Shep were trying to tie. We are like, hey, let's tie, and I don't want to die. I ended up killing Shep in like a 1% or something like that, and he was like, wait, no, Diamond, no. I was like, sorry about that, Shep. I think I ended up winning the lobby, but it was like pretty sad that
Feels bad.
he
Yeah,
lost
I've
because
almost died to a teammate before. So
yeah, but
feels bad.
that's what he's referring to. It's scams.
Yeah, yeah,
When you get the rattle scam against a teammate. No.
yeah.
Uh,
Right, and he also
I can
asked.
ask the next.
Yeah, you can ask Diane. Just
Yeah.
Go
Also
ahead,
from
Justin.
a certain dog breed, best THL series.
Okay. I would say the best one that I enjoy captaining is Pro because there's a bunch of cool. I just get to watch people who are good at Hearthstone prep and talk and kind of absorb it. I'd say the one I most enjoy playing in personally is Hero, and then if I have to like say, I think the one I've had the most success in is Legacy, honestly. So making sure because I have my Legacy player Justin and the pro players asking, and then Bronze and Chai is on my hero team, making sure I cover all my bases here. But I think Pro and Hero, honestly, if I'm spectating, are the most interesting to watch. I find Legacy kind of boring at times, unless there's new teams, because kind of the same big giants are always there.
yeah,
It's really hard. It's really fun to see new teams. I think that's the best part about Legacy.
agreed. All right, let's see. Best ever THL team that you have captained.
This season's for the boys, and then if it's not a pro series, I would say Foolish Madman for Legacy. That's just
Oh yeah,
the
I mean
for the boys has evolved from a pro team that went 3-4 to the past 2 seasons only have
one
oh
week
yeah,
loss.
actually let me change my answer. The Caverns Below, who didn't win a single week, is my favorite team. No, I'm joking. It's for the boys. Just like the amount of like effort. I think in pro, just seeing the growth of a team that I tried making a brand. Wasn't inspired by F2L, by the way. Just was like, let me make a team name that sticks, and then they actually did really well. And Legacy this season just, I don't know,
Insane
monster team
season,
did
yeah, great
monster
team.
things.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
All right. I can
Okay, a new question just got added to the Docker, and that's
sure. This will be
quite
the
good. So I'm
we'll
gonna
just
ask
let this be the last one.
The last
probably the last
one.
one we're running it.
Yeah,
All right.
it's
Top
almost 10:30.
All right, fair.
top 5 favorite animals in THL. Asked by someone who has an animal username.
But there's so many animal usernames I know. Okay. There's Turtle. There's Molestar. There's German Chap. Uh,
There's me.
there's Doctorfeesh.
Yeah, mine's more named after an
There's
animal than being a doctor.
okay.
Yeah.
Is there another animal I'm missing?
Yeah, there's Milo.
Una.
Oh, there's Milo. Oh no, wait. There's Super Chicken.
Super Chicken.
Don't forget about Derek
No,
America.
not gonna forget about Super.
I would say my favorite based off talk. I think it would go. Turtle would be number one. Shep and Mole are the
Yo.
same. Yo, just the amount of times I think me and Turtle are generally the same person. Like I've never had someone who I've just talked to them in text for 5 messages and be like, we text the exact same. And I'd say Shep and Mole I've interacted with equal amounts, like in calls. Like Mole I played AVGL with him. We played Minecraft with Turtle, and Shep we played BGs together. Then I would put you at number 4, and I'd put good old Super Chicken at number 5 because we've only
Nice.
called like twice. So
Nice.
that's very good. And then
There's so many
too.
there's so many great names.
And then honorable mentions go to Liquidox, Darren, and Milo because they are all animal names. And I probably
Yeah.
missed people. Sorry. Have more neat.
I mean,
have
there's
easier
so
names
many.
here.
Like,
no
Bone
gem
Masher
names.
in chat, giving a shout out to MTG Squirrel.
yeah, Squirrel's a good
True.
one.
True.
right.
That was fun.
Raps
It's actually
and
fun.
Puff.
Actually, getting questions instead
Of
of
asking all of them, yeah.
yeah, getting asked instead of hey, Diamond, send us questions now. We have a show.
Yeah, quite a demand. All right, that's gonna do it for this week of Tavern Talk. Hope you all enjoyed. Next week we're gonna have Legacy semifinals, so less Legacy matches, which means more matches in Wild and Pro, and we will have Heroes, probably have Hero Series brackets. I guess we can do those as well. Because we have the Legacy brackets filled out, and I could just put them up on the screen. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you, Mako and Diamond, for coming on the show.
No problem. I've wanted to come on for a bit, and like this is my reading week. I was already at Hearth Center. I slotted my ties in these shows.
Yeah, man, double duty. Nice.
We'll see how championship streams go. Might come back with one of the 3 teams. We'll see.
Cool. Yeah, for sure. Right. Mako, any final words?
We need 2 more Battlegrounds captains and watch Around the Saloon on Mondays.
All right. Yeah. Around the Saloon's great show. Hearth Center, great show. This show also great, obviously. I mean,
Good content all week. You
Yeah.
can name all the shows.
Oh no, I mean every single week is great. We have, match we're going to have match shows for the rest of the week, Tuesday to Sunday. So,
Let's talk about those match shows.
yeah.
Always just in time.
Oh.
Yeah, my very own 7-0 record in Legacy going up against your Mumpkins 8-0 record on Friday at 8 p.m. Is the one I am looking forward to. But
Yeah.
I guess I can give the rundown for the others as well.
Oh, sure, yeah, you
Thursday
can.
night-
That's fine.
That was I don't know if he does. That was a segue. I was.
That was a
trying to
really
create
good
there.
segue. That was a really good segue. I was about to segue right into that when you did. So good job.
Anyways, Thursdays will be Hero at 8 p.m. of Skirt Reynolds against Darren Robocats of Tonk against Agua. Agua needing to pick up those points. And then Pro Series right after that, 9 of Yachtster of Corrupted Cat Clown Fiesta against CMAC of Tap Washers, casted by Ron Mexico and friends. And then Friday night is that match of my own of me against your Mumpkid at 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by Hockey Boys against Draco Cat, big matchup there in the 3 seed for F2L against Ask HS as they look to beat each other and clinch that playoff berth. Casted by the man here, Doctorfeesh and Corrigan.
Yes, sir.
Feesh, do you want to take through the rest of them?
Sure. We've got so for Saturday, we're gonna have a really interesting thing coming that's gonna happen where Marty B and I think Jailstorm and Duin are going to kind of go over and do about a 30-minute recap talking about Wild series. So if you definitely want to, if you're a Wild player or just want to learn more about the series, you could definitely tune in for that. I'm not 100% sure when that's going to happen. And unlike the match that's actually shown on there, the match this week, it might be a couple of them, is going to be Duin versus Jailstorm. That match is going to be on sometime on Saturday, and then I know for a fact that we do not have match that either we do not know what matches Donde has, or Donde has not been given any matches yet. But so if you want to play Saturday night, if you are playing Saturday night 8 p.m. or 9 p.m., go ahead and even as late as 10 p.m. Eastern, go ahead and message Donde or Isocles and schedule the match for then. We'd love to have obviously any skill, any seeding, any skill level, whatever. And we'd love to cast your matches. And then Schoolstone Sunday, we're gonna have a 4 p.m. Eastern Pro Series match. That's gonna be obviously of Bad to the Bone versus Nice Jewish Owl of Glockgora. And I'm not 100% sure on the casters. I'm pretty sure Lotus will be opting that, and some combination of Rabobson, myself, and maybe somebody else will be casting that. Sunday night, we're gonna have 8 o'clock Eastern Pro Series match. Kalis Luna of Yasharaj's Clown Colleges versus Edelweiss of Sugoi Red. And then 9 p.m. Eastern, we've got Pro Series Black Conference Donde versus German Shep. That's Aeon versus For the Boys. And the casters there should be Dollar Bills and Myanodon. And that is all the matches that we have going on this week. There obviously might be more if we figure out the rest of Schoolstone and Salty Saturday. So again, if you want to get your matches streamed, you can contact Donde, Isocles, Marty B, Lotus Knight, or Saku, and we will try to find a time for your match. So thank you everybody for watching, and we will see you all next week. Be safe and take care.
So